All right, the 2018 Tennessee Titans. Complete, utter failure. Now, it's about 24 hours since we lost to the Colts that I'm recording this. I'm not overly mad about the loss. I'm not overly mad about the season. I'm not mad about anything. I have a pretty level, realistic look and level head looking at the situation. You got to look back at 17. 9-7, wild card team, one on the road, advanced the playoffs, one on the road at Arrowhead, came from behind at Arrowhead. New bar is set. Malarkey goes down with the ship, doesn't want to fire his offense coordinator. New coaches are brought in. I felt it was a win now mentality. I don't mean win now in terms of Super Bowl or bust. I mean win now as in like do minimum of last year and added to that. So I thought we were like, okay, we're going to get further in the playoffs. To me, anything less than that is got to be considered failure. If you want to be good, you have to hold yourself to higher standards. So if you look at it in terms of product, if you look at it in terms of business, I don't see how anybody can look at this team as anything but a failure. I don't care about injuries. I don't care about new systems. There's all kinds of teams deal with injuries. There's all kinds of teams deal with new systems. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I'm not friends with these people. I'm not watching the Titans as like I'm like, this is this is my my cousin, or I'm clapping and getting. No, I am a consumer, and they are a product. This is just like movies. If an actor makes a bad movie, it's the same thing. There's no grace cut because you're an athlete. Okay, so looking at it that way, which is really to me the only way to look at it, is this team is an absolute failure. They had to go further in the playoffs. They lost winnable games at times. They granted they were a resilient bunch. There is a lot of good here. There's more good than bad for the 2018 Titans, to be honest with you. Very resilient bunch. An identity is forming. We do see an identity now. Very tough bunch. Very scrappy bunch. This team is reminding me a lot of the early 2000s McNair, Wycheck, George version of the Titans. So we're seeing that very resilient, tough-minded mentality, winning games even when they're out of it, coming back, all that kind of thing. They're never quitting in a game, all that kind of stuff. But they also lose winnable games. They give up games. They left too many things on the table to forgive. I don't care that Mario got hurt early on and had to deal with it. It's not my problem. That's not my problem. Then have a better backup. Protect him better. Do a better job protecting him. All these things. It's not my problem that Mariota's on X number quarter or X number of years. None of this stuff is my problem. Win now. Win now. Having said that, I think it is a stupid mentality of a lot of fans out there to want to blow up anything or to draft a quarterback in the first round or get rid of George. Think of the old days. Get rid of Mariota or anything like that. He is the franchise quarterback. He can be an elite quarterback. He's only like 25, 26 years old. He has done a lot. 3 winning seasons in a row. Pulling through all the injuries he's had, pulling games out of his ass to win. The guy is the franchise and the future. He should get a long-term contract and paid accordingly. I think fans that want to blow up the roster, want to blow up the coaching staff, want to not keep Mariota are very foolish. That's a foolish consumer looking at a product. Okay, so I think that 19 does have a lot of hope for it. But saying 18 is a failure doesn't throw it in the garbage can. It's not a 3-13 season by any means, but in comparison to where they should have been based on 17, it has to be considered a failure. The staff, I don't see any need for major changes. I felt the offensive coordinator was a little slower adapting to some of the needs that they developed, but I understand he lost a lot of players, and I understand he just lost a lot of players, right tackle, tight end, so on and so forth. Looking ahead at 19, we got to have like reliable, proven good receivers. Taylor, Sharp, and Davis are all draft picks. mixed results for all of them. Davis, I think, can become somewhat what we want. He's definitely not there yet, but he's shown flashes. The others haven't been very consistent at all. Definitely see that Delaney Walker was a big band-aid for a lot of problems with the passing game. Derrick Henry finally emerged and has become what we wanted to be. So hopefully that continues. I think they need to tweak the defensive line. I think they need to tweak the offensive line. I think they just need a lot of little tweaks for 19. But that we'll talk about that in the months now to come. But just talking about 18, I think the biggest upside is the resiliency of the team. We know this team won't quit on a game. The negative is they just didn't live up to our expectations. I know there's all those factors we talked about, scheme, injuries, and stuff like that, contribute to not living up to it. But the bottom line is they didn't. And I think that the front office needs to hear from the fans that are reasonable, okay? You have some fans that are like, gee golly gosh, live or die Titan and all that kind of stuff. And even when they're 3-13, they always think that we're the greatest team ever. Those fans there's nothing you can do with those guys. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have teams that want to fire everybody all the time and think that every player sucks. You can't do anything with those guys. I want the management and coaches and the people, the powers that be, the ownership, whatever. There are reasonable fans out there that say, okay, we love you. We're Titans all day. You didn't live up to expectations. Some minor tweaks. Please hear us. We expect better. We expect more. If we want to be the Patriots, you got to do Patriot things. And we haven't done that. All right? If we want to be winners, you got to do what winners do. So hopefully we'll get there really soon. I am optimistic for 19. I'm not pessimistic on 19. The last thing I'll say is we have got to figure out the Luck syndrome. Whatever is in our head without Andrew Luck has got to be fixed. And I mean now. Something, I don't know what it is. They've got $100 million worth of cap space, and that scares the hell out of me. So Titans, take a look at yourself, take a look at the tape. Let's figure out, I'm not smart enough with football stuff to know what the answer is. The Luck syndrome. I think we need to draft players. We need to go after free agents that will match up better with the Colts. If we can beat the Colts, we can beat anybody. All right. I think that's all I got to say about 18. To recap, I'm disappointed. I think you have to consider this as a failure. There are reasons to be hopeful for 19. And as always, tighten up.